Hey guys, and welcome back to Mommy Talk. This is where I like to talk about my life and all things mommy. I'm thinking I need to come up with some sort of new intro because that's pretty much been my intro like since I started this channel. I remember back in the YouTube days when like everybody used to have like some kind of song and like animated intro or something like that. I always wanted one of those. I always thought those were the cool YouTubers, but I don't know, I just feel like there should be some sort of like beginning before my entrance. So I'll have to think on that a little bit. Anyway, welcome back to my pregnancy vlogs for baby number 6. If you can believe it, I'm going to be the mother of 6 children. I need 6 eggs! Which is both amazing and terrifying at the same time. So this is week 18 of this pregnancy saga. And even though we have only just begun it, yeah, we're already almost halfway through. And we've only just started. I did manage to take some notes this time on some symptoms that I've been feeling or have felt, or things that I might have like forgotten to put in the video last time. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So something I forgot to mention in the last video is the major fatigue that I've been feeling. And I know that that should probably go without saying, like pregnancy equals tired. Yeah, it's always that first trimester fatigue that kind of blends into second trimester a little bit. It was like literally like my body would be like, you're sleeping now. And then I would just like have to fall asleep. It's so funny because when I started feeling like this symptom, I had just started going back to work, and again, didn't know I was pregnant at this point. So I was just assuming, I guess, that, you know, going back to work after basically being virtual all last year and then just, you know, coming off of summer and stuff, like having to wake up early again, I thought that it was just because I was working so much and then like having to deal with, you know, school pickup and just everything that comes along with like getting back into a school routine. So I kept blaming it on that, and I just kept thinking I wasn't getting enough rest. But I was literally taking a nap like every single day. I was like falling asleep at the wheel like on my way to pick up the kids. I would literally get to Carline like at least 15 minutes early because I knew that by the time I got there, my body was just gonna like force me to fall asleep. So I would like drive to Carline, barely manage to make it to Carline. I'm like, this the whole way. And then get in Carline, park my car, and then nap for like 15 minutes and set an alarm so that when the kids got out of school, I would like wake up. So it was literally like just overwhelming fatigue, and that always happens to me in that first trimester, and I always forget like just how dramatic it is, and my body like literally forces me to sleep. It isn't as bad now. I can usually typically stay awake like for a whole day if I can, but I do typically try and sneak in at least one daily nap, like if I'm able to, like if I'm able to sneak it in before I pick up the kids or something like that. Like, yeah, I usually have like one daily nap, but I am able to stay awake all day if necessary. Okay, so speaking of last vlog, in my last vlog, I stated that I had not felt any movement from baby yet, and I'm pretty sure that like that sort of jump-started something in my stomach, in my uterus, because right after I filmed that and uploaded it and everything, I kind of thought I was starting to feel some things, and at this point it's still not quite regular yet, but I am like 98% sure that I am starting to feel some movements here and there, like just little tiny flutters, not anything like super consistent or super big. I'm not getting any kind of like big giant roll movements yet or anything like that, you know. It's just some little tiny like just little blurbs, little flutters. So that is kind of exciting and comforting. It's always pretty comforting like when you get to that stage in pregnancy where you're just like, I don't know what's going on in there, and then you know, and then you kind of start to feel consistent movements. So that's just like reassuring, I think, to pretty much every pregnant mom. A symptom that is new this past week, that's really tragic for me is I am a stomach sleeper. Just recently have I been noticing that it is getting more and more uncomfortable to sleep on my stomach. I can still kind of manage it if I fall asleep on that like kind of like half turned, knee up in the air, you know, kind of position. I can still kind of manage that if I'm like tilting my stomach a little bit. That's a little bit more comfortable for me. But yeah, I am noticing that it's it's becoming more and more challenging to sleep like that. I keep yawning during this vlog. I'm gonna cut most of them out, but I am so tired right now because like I was saying earlier, I am able to stay awake for most of the day, but that doesn't make me any less exhausted if I have stayed awake all day. And I did miss my daily nap today because I had adult responsibilities to finish today, so there was no room for a nap. Hi! You may or may not see children poking in and out of this vlog. It's unpredictable, you never know. Okay, so I've gone over a stomach sleeping, I've gone over the fatigue, gone over movement. Oh, yes. Okay, so another symptom I've been feeling, which is very new to me, is acne for me. So it actually isn't really bad now. You can kind of tell on my face that I actually don't have, like, my skin is like really clear right now. But I have been experiencing, at least like for the first few weeks after I found out, like outbreaks on my face and a little bit on my chest. And I should say this, I am very like blessed when it comes to skin. I just have like really good genetics, I guess. I've always had really clear skin, like even in my teenage years. All of my previous pregnancies, I've never really had any kind of breakouts, like maybe a pimple here and there. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing now. So when I say like acne breakouts, I don't mean like acne breakouts. Like it's just like there's like 3 pimples on my nose at a time, or I was getting a bunch on my chest for a while there. It's just new to me. It's not necessarily like this crazy outburst of acne. Like my skin overall hasn't really changed, but it was very bizarre to me to kind of experience like waking up and seeing like all this acne on my face or like on my chest especially. That was like a really weird thing. I don't know if I was just like sweating there a lot or what, but it definitely was happening in my chest area and a little bit on definitely on my nose, like in my nose cracks and crevices and whatever, kind of in my hairline a little bit, and then a little bit on my like my cheeks and my chin. But overall it hasn't been that bad, so I guess I should say it definitely has been a symptom, and it definitely is new for me. Even then it wasn't really that bad, but I felt like I needed to put that out there. But now that I'm saying it, I feel so silly. I'm like, oh my god, I had like 3 pimples. The last symptom that I have been having for the last like 3-ish weeks, I'd say 3, maybe 4 weeks. I'm not exactly sure of the timeline of when it started. I just know it's been going on for approximately a month, I'd want to say. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the B word on here, but yeah, I've been having very sore chest area, which again is a new symptom for me. I haven't really experienced this in any of my previous pregnancies, so that's kind of a weird thing. I mean, it's not that I haven't experienced it at all, it's just normally it's a symptom I experience postpartum rather than during pregnancy, or it's something that I experience like during pregnancy, but like definitely not for this long. That's kind of a new symptom that it's been going on and on and on for like so long now. Uh-oh, I hear a baby coming. If you're gonna be here, you have to sit.
A few minutes later.
So something that is kind of a new symptom, I think all around, maybe only COVID mommies can relate to this. I definitely feel like I've been getting like very easily winded lately when I'm wearing my mask. Like for example, every morning in my classroom, we do something called the Peace Pledge and we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So we do them both together. And between the two combined, like, you know, usually I'm kind of like projecting my voice a little bit so that the little ones are like kind of like it helps them follow along with my voice. But like even just doing that, like I'm not even moving around the classroom. I'm literally just standing there reciting these pledges, and I like literally get out of breath. Like I get so winded wearing my mask. I mean, I think that people can relate even if they're not pregnant, but it definitely like has been exacerbated, I think, ever since I have been pregnant. It's like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, I cannot breathe in this thing. Like even just standing there, I can't breathe. I do notice that I have been kind of getting like more winded overall. You know, like even just like climbing my stairs is like climbing Mount Everest to me. But definitely when I'm wearing my mask, it's just like so much worse. And I have to wear masks every day in the classroom the entire time I'm in the school. And I have to wear the KN95s. I have to wear the KN95s in my classroom. So it just like that doesn't allow like for any circulation. And I know people out there can relate to me. I know they're like out there like nodding their heads right now listening to this being like, I know exactly what you're talking about. That is something that I have been experiencing, which is an odd symptom because Like we've been wearing masks for like over 2 years now. And obviously like I think when we first started wearing it, I think it was kind of a struggle for everyone, you know, but I think eventually we kind of got used to it. And now I just feel like I want to rip my mask off by the end of the shift. I'm just like, oh, I can't breathe in this thing. As far as weight gain goes, I didn't bring this up in the last vlog. I actually haven't gained like any weight. So that's kind of good news, I guess. I definitely have been getting bigger in my midsection. So I do know that I am growing, I think, but at the same time I haven't gained like any weight. I've gained like 1 to 2 pounds. When I checked like 3 days ago, I had gained 2 pounds, but then when I checked this morning, just because I can be a little obsessive about weight gain sometimes, I had lost 1 more pound. I was like back down a pound. So I don't know if like the 2 pounds was like, you know, after I'd eaten or water retention or whatever it was, but I've only gained like 1 pound. Maybe technically 6 pounds. I think I may have lost 5 pounds in the first trimester, but I wasn't super keeping track at that point. Possibly 6 pounds, but as far as like going based off like what my pre-pregnancy weight was, 1 pound. So I guess it depends on like how you calculate that in your own way, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna try and finish this up fast because I'm losing light. So that's been all my physical symptoms. Emotional symptoms have been a little bit all over the place. When I found out, I was definitely like very terrified. Because like I mentioned in my last vlog, I was not wanting any more children. Yeah, it was just, I was pretty content stopping after reset. Because of that, because not only did I find out like later in my pregnancy, and there was just like a lot of emotional processing I had to do, I like haven't really told anyone, which is funny because I posted on YouTube, so I feel like more strangers on the internet know than like my family. None of Cody's family knows. My kids only just found out over Christmas. I have not announced publicly anywhere besides YouTube. The only people who know within like my circle is like my mom and my sisters, and that's it. I have only told like so few people. There's like 2 friends of mine that I see on like a weekly basis, like a regular basis, and then my mom and sister who I also see regularly, even if it's like over Zoom or something. Like we talk every day, like we frequently talk. So I've only told those people. So like 4 people outside of like my regular social circle. But I know not too many people in my personal life watch my YouTube videos, and the people who do watch them I've already told in person. So, but yeah, I haven't actually announced anywhere like on my Facebook or my Instagram or anything like that. And for those of you who think you can like troll by like trying to announce it on my personal media, like you can try, but it's not gonna work. Like I plan on telling people in my own time, or if they find out through YouTube or whatever, like I don't care. It's not that I care if people know, it's just I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The people who I do care that know already know. So that's kind of my point. So yeah, so emotionally I've just been kind of like all over the place. It's been, I think definitely at first I was just like super shocked. Yeah, I've grown from like being shocked to being like terrified to being like, okay, yeah, this might be fun, to being like shocked again. And I think what it is I just keep going back to the fact that like I have to accommodate one more entire human being. And I know that might sound obvious, but like the fact is like I don't have enough rooms in my house right now to accommodate another whole human being. Technically, I have a car that fits another child because it seats 8, and that's exactly how many people I'm going to need to chart around everywhere. However, it's going to be a really tight squeeze, and if I'm driving every single person at once, like I literally won't be able to drive anybody else. Like if a friend needs to be picked up from school from one of my kids or something, like I don't know. And I don't make any payments on my car, and I don't really want to have to like buy a new car and make payments on a car because I own my car like full out. So like just like the thought of that kind of stuff is like adding in, factoring in that I'm probably gonna have to move. I'm not even probably, like I'm definitely gonna have to move. I might have to buy a new car, which I really don't want to do. You know, just like all these different things. I'm just like, there's so much I need to think about, but I know it'll all work out. I know it will. That's all I have to say this week. I don't know, I feel like these vlogs are kind of all over the place because I kind of like record them on the fly. I like, in my mind, I'm like, I gotta record this, I gotta record this, I gotta record this, but I don't actually think about like what I need to say when I record this. These are not scripted at all, if you can't tell. They're just kind of like me talking and rambling to a camera and hoping that people enjoy that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up and show you guys my 18-week belly bump.